On this week's show, Abe is here talking with us about Disney Infinity Next and all the new hotness. All this and more in episode 126 of the Inside Infinity podcast. Do you like Disney as much as we like Disney? Well, of course you do, or you wouldn't be listening to an Infinity podcast. Well, if you do, you should head on over to MediaMeltdownPodcast.com. Check out the Mousecast, a bi-weekly podcast about all things Disney. Disney rumors, news, theme parks, and more. Anything you want Disney, you can find it there. Head over to MediaMeltdownPodcast.com to find out more. Hello everyone, welcome to Inside Infinity, episode number 126, recorded March 2nd, 2016. I'm one of your three hosts this evening, Will Kelly, and joining me back once again, Abe. Abe, how you doing, buddy?
Good, I'm doing great. How's everybody else doing, man? A lot of cool next information that we kind of already knew, but that's awesome.
It's crazy awesome, and you've been real hot and heavy into the scene lately. You got to go to the event last night. We're going to talk about that soon, and so we're super stoked to have you on tonight's show.
Absolutely, thank you for having me.
Awesome. The other person there looks like he's rocking out to music, and it's silent music because Abe and I can't hear it. None other than Lim. How you doing tonight, Lim?
I'm just hunky-dory, thank you very much.
Good. Glad that you could make it and that our technical difficulties got worked through. And
it's
you're here.
Really good when the technical pieces have power.
That is an important piece. It's important. Yeah, we got the mic checks out of the way. You blew out a few eardrums, and so yeah. So happy to have you both on tonight's show, as always. We have a great show ahead of everyone. Lots of big news this week. And we got some fun things we're doing for the first time, and we're going to go over that in just a little bit. We're not going to quite spill the beans on that yet, but this is going to be a community-focused show. With that, I'd like to say hello to the community that's able to make it tonight. Lots of people in there. Abe's in there.
Totally there.
Yeah, you're there. Gamer family, how's it going? Daniel, we got Commander Galaxy, welcome. Inpan, Prototype, Refadex. Let's go with that. X-Man, Star Wars Ghost, lots of others in there. So if I didn't say your name, I apologize. But thank you all for joining in tonight's show. And just a little bit, you are going to be able to contribute. And so we're super excited about that. We're going to see how it goes. First time we're doing this. Who knows? Maybe a bust, but I'm excited regardless. So
it's fun either way.
Exactly. That's just going to add to the excitement. Well, with that, gents, let's go and get things started because we do have a lot to talk about tonight. But before we get talking about actually the next event, Abe, do you want to tell us a little bit about your experience last night going to the Zootopia Disney Infinity Next screenings and just letting us know how that was for those that weren't able to make it?
It was awesome, man. It was loads of fun. You know, if you've never attended a Disney Infinity screening, it's pretty cool, man. It's really nice of them to always put on an event for the fans. Usually you get to see a film before it comes out, so we obviously got to see it 3 days before it comes out. They always give you free figures, sometimes a poster, and they always give you popcorn and a soda, so they always treat you. But anyways, this time I attended the one in Anaheim, next to, it was in downtown Disney, so next to Disneyland, which is an awesome place to have it. And they screened, Allison and JV were there, and they did the little presentations. They screened the whole next presentation, which we'll be talking about in a second. And then they showed the movie, and I'm currently writing a review for the movie. It'll be up on the Diz Kingdom website. But just to give you guys a taste without any teasers, this is definitely probably one of the most amazing Disney animated films I've seen in the longest time. Better
awesome.
than Frozen, better than... I'm going to be bold because... Yeah, I'm a huge Pixar fan, don't get me wrong, but I think I like this more than any of the Pixar films I've ever seen. That's how great it is.
That's awesome.
That's just my take on it. Sorry, people, if you disagree, but I love it.
Wow. And I was going to wait to go to video on this one.
Oh, no.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't.
He got me the first time. Darn.
luckily the movie's not out yet because my wife she was kind of having a bad night, and she's like, "Hey, do you wanna just go out to dinner and go to Zootopia?" And I'm like, I got this really important podcast I gotta do tonight, but if Zootopia was already released, I totally would bail on it just to go because I've heard such great things about it.
Yeah, I know. It's like it's a bold statement to say better than Frozen, but I think it is.
Awesome. I read an article this week on this blog I follow, and they were saying from a technical standpoint, from a ratings standpoint, Disney Animation is now officially on par with Pixar as far as their movie
Well,
ratings.
I mean, it kind of helps that John Lasseter is running the whole show now. You know what I mean? Like,
totally.
But it took him some time. It took him from being fired from Disney Animation to like going out and doing his own thing and rebuilding, and now the company just goes to him for it. So
that's awesome.
I'm happy. I'm happy that he's a part of it.
Definitely. Cool, man. Anything else about the event?
I was trying to get a tour with Allison, but unfortunately she bailed on us, even though she did get one.
Oh,
shame on you, Allison. But no, it was fun. We had a lot of cool people there from the community, and obviously, aside from most of the screen, the Disney Infinity fan screenings, they did this one in 5 different cities. So
that's so cool.
That was kind of cool. Yeah, New York, Orlando, San Francisco, Chicago, and then obviously Anaheim. So.
Which would Orlando and Anaheim makes a lot of sense, and that's not out of the ordinary for those areas, but it's really cool that they did expand it a little bit to a few other big major cities as well. That was super awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it was a fun event, and I definitely recommend going to a fan screening because if you have a chance to sign up, do it.
Do it. They no holds barred. They pull all the stops, huh?
Yeah. No,
That's cool.
It's great. I mean, it's again, they don't have to do this for the fans, but they do it. You know what I mean? That's really cool about Disney Infinity. They take care of their community.
That's cool. Well, cool, man. Well, glad you got to go to that. I'm glad you got to tell us about for those that weren't able to make it. So add that to the bucket list of things. Go to a Disney Infinity fan event if possible.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Cool, guys. Well, before we actually start going through all that was discussed and announced with Disney Infinity Next, I wanted to take a moment and just kind of collectively give our thoughts on the event itself. What did we think of the event? What did we think of the production values? From what we witnessed yesterday, where do we see these types of things going in the future? Abe, do you think that Next is it their Nintendo Direct? I heard that name being thrown around a lot. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's their way of giving us information without having to obviously A, launch a brand new game, you know, B, to be at these big events, like obviously another thing that we learned not that long ago, like no Disney Interactive at E3. So whether they're going to do a pop-up shop or not around here, or if they'll still do it at Comic-Con, the fact is it's just a new way for them to shell out the news to the community without having to be at an event, and hopefully the rest of the world will get to hear it at the same time. Because I know they had an issue with like the UK or some other places they couldn't hear it. So
yeah, that was a real bummer, and they almost immediately, in the post presentation Twitch stream, they addressed that right away and said, we're really sorry. We're going to try to fix that. There's reasons that happened. We're going to try to fix it for future events.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Lim, what do you think about this? Do you think the fact that it's like this formal presentation has really high production values, how do you think that kind of the dichotomy between that and the weekly Toy Box TVs? Because we get a lot of information from those, especially around release time. Do you think that both are still equally valuable and they're just two different ways of presenting similar information?
I personally love the production value of that, and what it does is it allows us to just like I think they learned from how much was being put out at what time, like the slow release of content here, like in the game. It's kind of the same thing with slow release of news. We just keep wanting you keep having that want for more. When you have a weekly Toy Box TV, which I love, don't get me wrong, where you can, you interact, especially the live ones where you interact, that's great. But if it's just informational,
yeah,
I like the keep them wanting. Keep them just what's coming. I think it's just I loved it, and I love like the documentary style.
Mm-hmm. That was cool.
You know, but then again, that's what I do. I'm kind of in that vein.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. King Loop in the chat saying JV. And I didn't see this anywhere. Not discounting it, but King Lupus said JV said it's going to be a quarterly thing. I think that would be a great cadence.
Yeah, I do remember JV saying something about it being used when it's necessary, but they're looking at it possibly being like a 2 to 3 month thing. So whether they stick to the seasons or whether they stick to a certain amount of months, it's great that they do that. And piggyback off of what Lem said though, the production value, like I think what this allows them to do is to stay on point, to actually stay within what they want to say because it's pre-recorded. And not to mention they can have these awesome celebrities or writers or directors to guest star. It makes it look, it's kind of like the way they evolved Toy Box TV to make it look a little bit more scripted and slightly cheesy or whatnot, but it fits because it's being presented to the entire world through a game now. It's the same thing, but the production value is way up here. So
I mean it's in a league of their own. I mean it was like watching Hollywood Blu-ray extra.
Something like that. I totally agree. Like behind the scenes.
Yeah, and freaking Blackburn and JV, they were on point, man. They look snazzy.
Oh yeah.
They had that. We were talking pre-show. It might have had a little makeup going on, which is all part of the business.
I saw that.
Little's an understatement.
Yeah. It was cool. I mean, what's that?
In the chat, Cindy's wondering what's the fun idea for the show.
Oh, we are so close, Cindy. You're jumping the gun just a little bit. As soon as this part's done. Yeah, no, I love it. I think it's a great idea. I like that cadence, 2 to 3 months or sooner. I feel like that it could really... Okay, I think it can do two things. One, hopefully it can prevent some leaks. Maybe we'll be able to announce some things in a more formal way. But regardless, let's be honest, we're going to talk about, but we knew about almost everything that they talked about. That did not make, the presentation still made it super exciting, in my opinion. And it's like, you know what, I may have known about these things, but it doesn't mean that I'm not any more excited because they just like, it was totally like a cheer session. You're like, oh man, yeah, give me Marvel, give me Baloo. He looks so awesome and stuff. So,
and it's the first official.
And the first official. Yep.
Yeah. Here's the cool thing about it, though, that even though it was a little underwhelming because we knew about a lot of things, what's cool about it is the fact is that we know what's coming, and so now we're kind of anticipating, like, what are we going to see? What are we going to see? When we finally get to see the presentation, like, it's still awesome in the sense that even though we knew what was coming, we didn't know at what extent. So we got to see a lot of gameplay behind the scenes of how they did it.
Yep.
And the other second point that I had is now they have an avenue to sort of jump a little bit ahead of leaks, because even if they already gave us a hint of possibly Finding Dory or obviously Alice in Wonderland stuff, they kind of already planted the seed. So if something leaks, we were kind of already expecting it. So it's kind of like, hey, we beat them to the punch in a sense.
Yep.
So it kind of gives them that avenue to, like, try to get ahead of the leaks a little bit.
Totally. Right. Totally. Awesome. Anything else that you guys would like to mention about that before moving on?
Can we just talk about the fact that it's 3.0? It's just 3.0 now? Or is that coming up later?
I think yeah, he's has the
Yep.
Okay.
Sorry, buddy. That's all on me. That's all on me, so it's not your fault. So
okay.
Well, cool. Well, so that's the next event. Now let's talk about what was presented at the next event. Before we do that, we're going to change things up again a little bit. So from this point forward, I'm a host, Abe's a host. Our buddy over there, Lim, he's our hype man. He is he's our producer. And so he's literally, we don't do this often with Lim because he's just so excitable and fun. We don't let him loose like this very often, but he's gonna just be let completely loose. Anything interesting in the chat that people are talking about that Abe and I are discussing, or funny comments, or I don't know what Abe's doing. Funny, Abe's already started.
I lost a water bottle. I'm being like a host. I'm panicking because I don't have my mug.
Oh, well, feel free to
I found it.
There you go. So feel free to say anything you want about. Give us your opinions on the specific topics we're talking about. At that point, we are going to hit every major beat from the next event. And if you have something funny to say, if you have a question for us, if anything, as long as it's family friendly, type it in there. And Lim is just going to interrupt us at will when he finds something that he thinks is fun and wants to bring up. So,
well, apparently, Tad's leaving. He said, "Frick, Lem's the producer. I'm leaving."
Well, there's one less person you're gonna have to worry about. Yeah, see. All right. I have no idea how this is gonna work, guys, but I'm excited. It's gonna be fun regardless. So with that, Abe, let's get things started.
Let's do this.
All right. So item number 1. And this goes to what Lim, when he was still co-hosting with us, just brought up. I'm going to bring up an article actually on a tech blog that I read. It's one of my daily reads. It's called TheVerge.com. The reason I wanted to pick this particular blog is because not only is there some interesting information, but I love seeing Disney Infinity get this kind of national exposure. And now people are seeing your face.
Ban Cindy because she uses the word she.
Yep, you are.
Okay. I am. Okay, we can ban Cindy. All right, great.
Banner. No, just kidding. Oh, and then my dog wants to join in. So anyway, there must have been a press embargo for the morning of the next event, because as soon as Next was over, all these articles started popping up, and it was pretty obvious that they were writing articles from specific interviews with members of the team. So this particular one piece that I really kind of dug and pulled out of this article is that, so the title says, bring it back up, Disney Infinity is moving away from an annual release. So from the next event, we assume that. They didn't come out and say it, but the way they were saying things and saying things, we assumed there was only going to be a 3.0 in 2016. So that's really cool and interesting news. I wonder what it means for the product moving forward. I've highlighted this part on screen here, though, because as fans, it makes sense, and it's actually something we've been clamoring for quite some time. I'm just going to read it aloud here. As part of this shift, Vignacchi said that Disney Infinity 3.0 will receive some form of new content every single theatrical release from Disney this year. If it's happening at the Walt Disney Company, he says, it's happening in Disney Infinity.
Including water. And Manor-Toss is wondering how will water be implemented in the toy box. So I think that's...
Just so you know, it's already been there. If you actually sit in the hub and you see there's a little lake, if you actually look, the swimming mechanic is already in the game. A little townsperson will show up, jump in, and swim. So it's clearly built in. We just have not been able to experience it firsthand in our hands because we can't become townspeople. So you will definitely see.
Only one of us can.
Except one of us can. We select other people real soon. Yeah. But other than that, it's there. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. Speaking of water.
I think it's going to be, personally, I think it's going to be something like Cars, which worries me in some respects because those characters are so limited just by their nature. But I think the mechanics are going to act like flying. That's just kind of my personal opinion.
Yeah, I agree. So. No, but ultimately, everybody has to...
What's up? They're tearing it up in the chat. I can't keep up.
I was going to say, ultimately, everybody has to remember that we're technically playing in a toy box, so everything in there are toys. So you technically don't need water for a fish toy. So
that's true. I mean, think of the Finding Nemo Sky Dome.
Yeah,
you're totally underwater.
There you go.
Cool. Does it surprise you, Abe, that we're no longer getting yearly releases and that we're getting all this new content for 3.0?
Okay, about that. I've been saying for a while, and a lot of people who listen to the podcast I'm with, Roger, I've been saying that we are getting a 4.0, and I was saying that we were going to get it. And to my defense, and Will was a witness there. I don't know if he heard the conversation, but
Sure. I was witness.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. We were at a certain event at Disneyland not that long ago, and a really big name in the Avalanche company decides to sit at our table. And, you know, I'm not going to name who because obviously I don't want to throw him under the bus. But, you know, I started asking him about his day and what he's been doing. And he just basically said, oh, just working hard on this stuff. Man, you guys are going to love the new stuff. And he said the words, 4.0 is going to be amazing. And I'm like, oh, it's coming. I know it. I'm not going to tell anybody. But okay, I thought it was going to be a normal release. So, but now, anyways, going back to your question, this is awesome, honestly, to tell you the truth, that they're not doing it this way, the way that I anticipated. Because now we have an expanded life cycle for a game we already have. We don't have to buy another base that everybody complains about. I don't know why. We don't have to buy another piece of software. We already have a system that we can just simply do update, and we have the new content, which is awesome. Don't get me wrong. Like, I wouldn't mind buying a nice little pretty box with 3 figures in it, or 2 figures now. But the fact is that we're going to get updates, and then the article says we're going to get something from every animated picture. Yeah, all I got to say is that townsperson better eat some het soon. So, because that's a lot of characters.
That's awesome.
All right, so who do you guys think are going to... they said female characters, and people are wondering, who do we got coming for female characters? People are asking about Scarlet Witch or Miss Marvel.
Squirrel Girl.
Squirrel Girl.
Spider-Gwen.
Spider-Gwen. Oh, God, that would be awesome.
I thought I saw the magic word in here somewhere for me. X-Men. So,
Rogue,
I mean, what do
Jean Grey.
Dude, freaking over half the X-Men are girls.
Yep, and they're all awesome. Storm, I think we talked about her a couple weeks ago. Are they asking specifically Marvel, though? Or is it...
Yes, they said specifically Marvel.
Well, that was quite a list.
Here's the X-Men thing. It says, the rights for Scarlet Witch and Silver caught in limbo because they're technically under X-Men banner. Okay, that's where it was.
Okay, well, are you going to go, or am I going to?
I just went.
Okay, you already.
Squirrel Girl and Scarlet Witch. Those are my two.
Lady Deadpool.
I was going to say Scarlet Witch, and I'm going to stick with Scarlet Witch. And the only reason why, just because they're shared in the movie rights. If you've noticed that X-Men and MCU both have their own Quicksilver, X-Men does not have their own Scarlet Witch. And even though movie rights are still Fox's, Marvel still has some type of say in there. They can give them hints creatively, even though Fox can say, you know, forget you guys, we're doing what we want. But Scarlet Witch has still remained only in the MCU, so they can definitely go that route. Go ahead.
I want a Lady Thor, too, so I'm just throwing that out.
Lady Thor, yeah, that's awesome. Awesome variant.
Or real Thor, I guess.
Says Agent 13.
Agent 13 or Agent Carter.
Agent Carter would be awesome.
But otherwise, the X-Men, I'd love all of them, dude. But unfortunately, I know how showbiz works because I'm part of it, and they're not going to want to share. If you guys aren't going to share with us, well, we're not going to share our publicity with you guys by making toys of your characters. So it's just not going to happen.
Yep. What else, Slim? Anything else fun before we go on the next topic? Anything.
People want Lady Nick Fury. Mockingbird, Quake, Daisy Johnson, Bobby Morse. Yeah. Sky from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Ooh, Sky would be good, too.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., man.
Yeah.
The whole Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. thing.
Give us Coulson while they're at it.
Bunch of Inhumans out there, too.
Yeah.
Cool. Absolutely. All right, keep a watch on it, buddy.
All right, cool.
This next piece, we're not really going to... And I'm bringing up DisneyHolics.com, our friend Christopher over there. What did you just see, Lem? That was so funny.
Jay says Lady Lem.
Oh,
Lady Lem.
No, don't give us that.
Oh, Jay.
They went over Zootopia stuff. The there's not a whole lot to talk about, especially now since everyone or a lot of people have the figures in hand. But the cool part is some of the creators of the movie were there and talking about it. Not only that, they had the creators of the game. They had oh god, I can't think of his name.
I checked my notes. It's not there. Sorry.
It will come to me. But they did talk about Zootopia and the process of creating that figure, which is really cool. We got our first look, gents, as we're talking about here. I'm going to play it on screen. So we got our first look at the Marvel Battlegrounds actual trailer. So, release trailer. Oops. What do you guys think of this? What do you think, Abe?
Well, awesome gameplay of figures that are going to come out that we knew that were going to come out, but we never saw gameplay. So yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Black Panther, amazing. I almost want to buy 2 of them because he's like that awesome.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's just the trailer that they gave us a while back that was kind of like, you know, their little animated version of it. Now with this is the trailer we needed from the get-go, and it's amazing. It's I'm excited for this game even more.
Even though it's not like, you know, it's different than Civil War. It definitely had those moments of like Civil War throwbacks when they're running towards each other and stuff.
Absolutely.
They did a really good job of showcasing all of the characters, not just the new characters, but they just had Green Goblin on screen and now Loki. Iron Man, so not only the new Marvel characters that we're getting, Ant-Man, shrinking,
or growing,
yeah. Yeah, it was really, really cool trailer, and I thought it was a really good time for them to introduce it.
No, absolutely. It's they needed to do something, because I mean we're getting this thing in like less than 2 weeks, I think, right? Or yeah, so they need to make sure it's overhyped now, even though we kind of knew.
Yeah, totally.
So apparently, the new Captain America is Cindy's Betty Rubble. Just say it.
Oh boy. Oh man.
There we go. So just finished playing. I don't even
People are wondering about Maria Hill, if she could be a figure.
From the looks of it, looks like she's more like an NPC or even just a virtual NPC through a screen, so who knows? Yeah. But hey, you know, if she is, more Marvel females, that's what we want.
Yep. Totally.
Manitos is wondering, he says he hears that it's not online multiplayer because they say too many fans would want online for other playsets, which, what do you guys think about that?
I've been wanting
it sucks.
That was one of my biggest disappointments from day one, and it's continued to be one for me.
It's like buying Super Smash Brothers and not being able to play online with anybody. It's like you're only going to play the game so long. You need to have people over. People who don't have friends, I'm sorry. You know, it's going to be horrible.
Yeah, I don't.
So,
I'm going to play.
I don't think it's going to be horrible. But this is me talking out of turn, not being a host.
No,
go
ahead.
I don't think it's going to be horrible because I played Power Stone by myself a lot.
Yeah.
Well, for the certain gamer, I guess it's horrible because like it's going to get old really fast if you don't have like the randomness of other people attacking as opposed to an NPC. You kind of learn how the NPC plays over time, and you know if. Oh yeah, absolutely. It's same patterns, same algorithms. It's not as random as you think.
It doesn't work well with Toy Box Speedway. That 250 is impossible. Period.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a bummer. I mean, the entire game is made for co-op, and it's almost unforgivable for a game this day and age that's presented the way it is to not have some sort of online co-op with the story modes. But it is what it is. It doesn't seem like it's something they're going to be changing anytime soon, especially given the fact that we're stuck in 3.0. Not that we're really stuck.
Do you guys think there's going to be any more Toy Box game discs? Blue Jay 97 is asking.
I think so.
Absolutely.
I don't know what. I kind of want to actually, I forgot to mention this in the 3.0 conversation, but one thing that I also like about this type of release is that there's many growing pains when we get a new version. I mean, it's awesome, it's super exciting, but out the gate, there's so many bugs, there's so many things that are kind of broken and not working. Like, now we don't have to worry about that. We just know whatever new content, we can be relatively confident that it's just gonna work, and that's awesome.
That's true.
So, I could totally see us getting, I don't know, I'm curious your thought. Abe, do you think we could get a Battlegrounds toy box disc? So, somehow unlocking the ability to do Battlegrounds with all characters?
Here's the thing. I feel like this is something they're probably working on behind the scenes anyways. Like, everybody keeps asking for crossover, something, so many complainers about this game needs to be like Skylanders or Lego Dimensions. It's like, well, I know it's a different game. They chose it to keep it property specific because it goes with the story. But there's some people that still want that interaction. So I guarantee you they're probably working on something behind the scenes that works just like Battlegrounds, where it might open it up to everybody. So
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, it's possible.
Cool. What do we got, Lim?
Okay, so the discussion is going on. Is Battlegrounds punishing people without kids? Because they got nobody to play with. Carrie, Infinity Carrie, Infinite Carrie is asking Infinifan, what about the emo non-breeders? What do those of us with 100% disposable income get? You get me. 100% disposable income. You get this guy. Let's hang out.
I think what Lem's trying to say
That was awesome.
is you learn to love a game that plays that way, and you play it all the time on your own, like Power Stone.
That was. You should be a freaking politician, because that was one heck of a spin, buddy.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
James is also saying 100% disposable income represent. I remember those days. Wait, no, I don't.
No.
Oh, man.
Wait, 100% disposable. What are you guys doing here listening to us? Get out. Go out the door. See the world.
That's
Cindy
awesome.
is also saying 100% disposable income over here. Oh my gosh!
Crazy. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut in this.
Speaking of which, we're accepting new Patreons every day. So please.
That's what you do with your disposable income.
By the way, guys, we're going to have an Inside Infinity dinner where it's $2,000 a plate. Lem will be making the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I will be bringing the carrot sticks.
Who's the entertainment? We're going to fly Jason in from Australia to dance on tables.
I think Logan plays guitar very well. He can play.
True.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Lim could play the ukulele.
Yeah.
That was amazing. So they did finally announce the official announcements of Ant-Man, Black Panther, and Vision. Surprising no one. But it was still super cool having it out in the open and seeing them in the game and their characters. That part was awesome. Like you said, in the trailer when he's like, you're about to find out what it's like to face a king or something like that from Black Panther.
Yeah,
like, awesome. That was awesome.
Okay, can I just jump out and say that I still think it's hilarious that they're trying to keep Ant-Man under wraps, even though we're getting this game on the 15th, when the movie is still going to be coming out way beyond the release of this game. So we're going to know before then, but everybody knows why they're holding it in. I mean, you've seen it in Coca-Cola commercials. You've seen it in other toy releases. Why we're not seeing Ant-Man now is beyond me, because he's already out there. So
yep. They also straight up said, and it was also funny in the Twitch chat after the fact, JV alluding to that without actually coming out and saying it. But I really appreciated his comment about, there's some things we just can't control. It's a big company. I want to be as transparent as I can without getting myself in trouble. So there were things behind the scenes going on, and it wasn't what we wanted. So I thought that was really cool of them. And kind of
that's true.
They straight up said more Marvel characters coming this year. So we kind of talked about that a little bit already, but
and and apparently Allison's favorite one has not been announced yet, and she said the words. She said the words, "She's awesome." So I'm like, oh, the hopes for Scarlet Witch is still there.
No,
I know.
I honestly think it's going to be Wasp.
Why?
Ant-Man at the end of Ant-Man. What suit was there, and what's coming up with the next one?
True.
Yeah, but isn't that movie coming out till 2017?
Yeah,
though,
that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, but they had a Wasp already.
That's true.
In 2.0.
Well, that's a crappy
already
part.
got the mechanics for Wasp.
Dude, don't crush my dreams. I don't have a disposable income to go pay them to make a Scarlet Witch.
Hey,
it's like
if they get Scarlet Witch, that's just one mutant. I mean, enhanced.
Don't say that.
Don't say the word. We're gonna have to ban you.
Do we have the filter on?
It was so funny. I do want to kind of call him out because it's funny to me. But Cindy in the chat, she's like, wait, did she say she? And in the live chat yesterday, she asked it, and they immediately banned her for like a few minutes. And I think they felt bad because then she asked an okay question, and they actually talked about it on the live Twitch. And I was like, oh, that was so funny. They're like, sorry for banning you. We'll ask your other question now.
That's funny. You know what? Don't feel bad. I got banned for chanting Shelby.
Yes, I saw that.
I was like, really?
Like, wow.
Shelby anymore?
That's funny.
Oh well.
Romulus is saying Wasp can reuse some of Tinkerbell's animations.
Ooh.
Oh, don't put a skin. Give her something new.
Have you guys played the Avengers Academy? Wasp is my favorite character there.
No. I intentionally gave you that game so you could play it and tell me how bad it is. Outside of the kind of takeaway tease that they left us with, which we're not to yet, this was the most exciting thing that, in my opinion, of the event, and that is finally seeing Baloo. The official announcement of Baloo, they showed him off in game. They talked about his animations. They showed off his freaking figure and a little bit about his figure design, which is just super bad molasses. Abe, what do you think of Baloo, man?
Love him. I honestly think he's probably going to be one of my favorite characters, not because of the sense figure, but what he does in game. He's dancing. He's having a good time, pulling out a palm tree, slapping people with it. Then all of a sudden, I guess somehow he patented a new clapper version where it just summons your hula skirt.
Yeah.
I mean, that was amazing.
That was awesome.
I was like, that's awesome. I totally want that. No, I mean, he looks like such a fun character, and I'm excited for it. It's just, it feels fresh. Like, aside from us finally getting, Baloo, like a classic animated character, we're getting like a really fresh playing figure, character, whatever. I keep using the same words. But yeah, it's cool. It looks awesome.
Could not agree more. I've said this so many times on this show, that his mold, his expression, his movement in the character and in the game itself is just so spot on. They nailed it. But like you said, Abe, they nailed it for Baloo, but it's still so different from anything else we've gotten. I mean, I think there's some parallels with some other figures, but it's just seeing him in action and some of his specials and stuff like that. Like, I love how they went over this in the live stream after, how his special, it has a cooldown. So like you pop his special, he puts on his hula skirt or his grass skirt, and he has it for a certain amount of time, and which gives him an entire different action set. Move set, and then once it's done, you gotta refill it. But I was like, that's a really interesting thing. They've never really done that before. Like, changed the gameplay of the characters via the special abilities.
Well, I mean, they captured his personality in his movements and his attacks. I mean, didn't he bring up in the Twitch chat that he even attacks people with his butt? He's dancing. His hip motion. That's awesome. We don't have stuff like that in the game already, and it kind of captures the essence of how playful Baloo was in the movie. So
yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's awesome.
All great stuff going on in the chat here about Baloo. People are saying they're saying, where's King Louie? So why only one character? People are asking, saying he's the bare necessity to purchase of the new figures. Ah!
Who said that? They get a gold star.
That was Carrie.
That's awesome.
But one thing that that some people are asking is, where are all the terrain and sky discs?
Huh.
It's got to come, right?
I'm kind of wondering what route they decided to take with power discs, because they did say, they'll have more coming, but because they went the whole non-blind bag route, it's like they're taking their time on releasing a few here and there. So I don't think they're more of a priority anymore. I mean, if they want to give us more Sky Domes, they can do it in game. But as far as power discs go, I'm with you. I mean, I like the power discs. It's just they seem like they're in the back seat for this 3.0 ride. So
definitely a more deliberate affair, it seems like.
Carrie's all about the puns tonight. I want Baloo versus Groot. I'm thinking that palm tree might rub Groot the wrong way.
Wah, wah.
Oh my god,
that's great. What do you think? Are we getting more, whether it be live action or not? Are we getting more Jungle Book?
I don't think so. I mean, they can't give us Mowgli because we technically already have one named Spot. It's similar characters.
Totally.
King Louie, he'd be awesome, but I don't know. I mean, I think they're only gonna touch on the new movies coming out this year, and when I say touch, I mean just literally just touch it a little bit. They're not gonna give us a whole, handful of new characters. It's just gonna be one or two. I mean, like Alice in Wonderland. I mean, I'd be surprised if we got any more than just 3. You know what I mean? Like, it's dependent. Like, everybody keeps talking about Moana and like it could possibly be the next playset, but I'm like, you guys really know that there's only 2 big major characters. Are we gonna have another Lone Ranger playset? I don't know. It's gonna be interesting.
Will be. If it's only Blue, I'm okay with that. Like they said though, I do want that Tailspin costume change disc.
Oh, definitely.
Yes. We want the whole Disney afternoon playset.
I want the Sea Duck too, though.
I want it so bad. I want that. Could you imagine? I'm pretty sure I had some like Burger King toys or something like that where you had the big character and the kind of miniaturized plane. Oh, I want that so bad. Make it happen, please.
Yeah, I agree.
Give us Kit while you're at it. With his glider
Let's
thing.
stop. I'm getting depressed.
All right.
Gargoyles. People are talking about gargoyles doing Doctor Strange.
Darkwing Duck is always on the list.
Oh yeah.
So, all right, fine. Let's move on to in my opinion, the next most awesomest thing, and it was just a blurb. It was I felt it was kind of unlike them to do this because it was a huge thing that they just kind of like went blah. All right, now we're ending, and that was a tease for essentially what could only be deduced as Finding Dory and Alice. So I don't remember the exact. So
look into some of our favorite fish and a look into the hourglass.
Yeah, to give you an update on some of. Oh yeah. Tease, give you an update on our famous fish and peek through the looking glass. So something Finding Dory, and it sounds like characters, and then some stuff Alice.
No, it's Little Mermaid. I mean, everybody loves Flounder, so it's totally Little Mermaid.
Because Ariel wouldn't count, right? She's a mermaid.
Oh, she's a fish. No, definitely it has to be Finding Dory. In fact, actually today I spent some of my day thinking what would be the actual fish that they would give us in the playset. And with the release of the new trailer, that made it a lot easier. Yeah. So the only thing that I see unlikely is to get both Marlin and Nemo. Because they look the same, and they would probably play the same as well. So
probably give us
it's
Nemo.
Either one or the other. Yeah, I'm thinking Nemo as well.
I actually think Marlin.
That's true. I mean, that could it's gonna be tough
because he does more in the movies. I mean,
in the first one, but we don't really know in the second one, do we?
Right. I spent some of my day thinking, quote unquote.
Thank you. Who said that, Jay?
That was Carrie.
No, that was
awesome.
Carrie.
Well, Anyways, but yeah, there's obviously Crush is in the movie. There's the new octopus. I forget his name, but he's played by the guy from Modern Family, Al Bundy or whatever his name is. I forget.
Ed.
He's
Then
always
yeah, exactly. And the stingray, I think, has a big play as well in this. And
the whale shark.
yeah, either the whale shark or the beluga whale, the little smaller one. One of the two.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it's like 5 or 6 potential characters in this playset, which is awesome.
That's cool. What do we think about Alice? Do we think just assume we're getting characters? Throw out a playset. Just assume characters right now. It's going to be live action, don't you think? Or do you think it's going to be...
Yeah, well, that's why I
classic?
sighed, because it's going to cause a huge uproar, people complaining, I want the traditional Alice, and yada, yada. It's going to be live action, and the only reason why is because we know time is coming, and time is from the live action version. I don't mind Johnny Depp's version of the Mad Hatter, because I honestly think he'd be a little bit more interesting in game than the old school classic.
Having a third one?
Yeah, so...
Johnny Depp? I want it too.
Hey, I still want a third Sam J, man. I want a Frozone, dude.
Frozone, baby.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But, you know.
Cool.
So, Commander Galaxy is saying that we need to get a Crystal Dory so she can live up to the movie's name, because you can't find her.
That's pretty good. I like it. I like it.
So people want Genie.
What does Genie have to do with Finding Dory?
I don't know. Dragon Daniel, what are you no.
Get out of here, Daniel.
Finding Dory.
Get out of here with that madness. Ban. No, just kidding. They did say too, they officially came out and said that we're getting 4 additional playsets this year. We do know Battlegrounds is going to be one of them, but they also said Star Wars, Disney, and Pixar. But Abe, you were saying that they said Disney Animation, right? That's what you were saying earlier?
Yeah, Jason from Infinity Inquirer put up an article. I forget where it was from, but they asked JV the same question. And he said Disney Animation is quote unquote the playset that we're getting, so it can't be Alice in Wonderland as the playset.
Cool.
Did you just quote Affleck? Is that what you just said?
Snatch Mac.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh man.
As far as Star Wars, which route do you think they'll take? Will it be Rogue One or will it be Rebels?
I think it'll be Rogue One.
Yeah.
It's coming out this year. Rebels, I think it would be hard to release a playset at this point. Well, no. They could do a single figure playset release and have Hera in there. So, because she's extremely wanted. But I think it's going to be Rogue One. I think they're going to capitalize on that movie.
Romulus just said a very good point. A total of 8 playsets, just like that Best Buy leak before the game came out.
You can't take credit for that. We said that on our podcast.
Oh, was that this week?
Try, though.
This week's Disc Kingdom.
We did it literally right after the next thing came out. So
nice.
right after 10:20, we went up and said it. So
that's a good catch.
Nice try.
Good job, Abe.
No, but good point, because you bring up a really really interesting point that we were talking about, which is they knew all along how many we were going to do from the get-go. This isn't new. This has been planned. They already knew that 3.0 was going to be this long. And Best Buy putting it out there just is an indication. Don't you remember the Best Buy ad said 4 Star Wars, 2 and 2 Disney and 2? I remember there was numbers on it as well, if I remember correctly. I have to pull that picture up. I saved it somewhere. But anyways, thanks for bringing that up, because that's extremely important.
New Star Wars playset. The Life Day holiday special.
Yes. It's a verbatim retelling of it.
You don't even play. You just put the figure down and it just goes through the whole thing.
And it's not even in Infinity. It literally is just like playing
the movie.
The movie.
It goes through a YouTube link and plays it. I just paid $35 for this thing.
Oh man, they need to rickroll everyone in the El Capitan and play that next Christmas.
Oh,
instead of Toy Box TV. kind of the last thing that kind of came out of the event, it wasn't related directly to the event. Shout out to Cindy because she's the one who sent this to me today, and it was a tweet. It was actually Q Lanu, Logan tweeted this out and asked JV if is this going to affect at all the summit this year. And JV responded later in the day, there will be a summit this year, don't you worry. So looks like there's going to be a summit again this year. Who knows what it's going to be, but there's going to be one.
Send me pictures. Because I can't build.
You also don't have all that disposable income.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Speaking of which, all you guys, we need a plane ticket to Florida because that's where I think it's going to happen.
Just saying. Yep. Just saying.
Agree. Lim, anything else fun that's come up last little bit? We're done with news items.
Yeah, well, people are talking about spoilers in general because we've brought up the Best Buy spoiler, and there were a couple of people that say they stop the spoilers. We don't want the spoilers. Carrie is saying to Benson, I just wish the Infinity community would be as responsible with remaining spoiler free as the internet was in the first days of Force Awakens. It won't stop until the leaders of the community stop forwarding the information along. And I personally agree. You guys know how much I hate spoilers. I have to see them because that's what I do. But I wish I didn't have to. I wish I didn't roll into them.
So we kind of can cop out on this because we're a weekly show and we can kind of wait and see the where things fall in the landscape by the time it gets to us. We're not breaking any news. The only thing I'm going to say about that, good or bad, it's for a lot of people in the community, it's a business, and leaks make money that drives that traffic, and I'm not. Go ahead, Abe, because this is touchy, man.
Just for the record, I don't make any money doing this. I want to clarify this so all you guys know this. But as a neutral party, just like Will said, people who put these sites up, have to pay for them somehow. And in order for them to stay in existence, they need what they call high traffic, clicks, hits. And the only way to get those to happen are, unfortunately, leaks. Just to give you an example, I've heard from X site, and I won't say which one, because I know everybody who works on all of them. When one of the leaks happened, it was one of the busiest days on their site. And you know what? That helps run the site. And then now, in general, let's speak in general, and let's be honest with each other. Like, I'll agree with everybody. I hate leaks because I like the surprise aspect. Mm-hmm. But the truth is, we live in the new tech era where one thing comes out, Facebook, Twitter, everything, it's going to spread like wildfire, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's going to happen. So the only thing I suggest, if you guys hate leaks, is turn off your phones, turn off your computers, because it's going to happen. Yeah. It's something we can't avoid. We can't stop it. If I decide to tell, like, for example, I work with this Kingdom, and I say, like, hey, guys, any leak that happens, please don't put it up. That's not going to stop anybody else from doing it. You know what I mean? Agree. And the fact is, it's going to happen. It's going to happen regardless. If it gets spoiled for you guys, I'm sorry, because I hate that too. I mean, I used to hate like Loot Crate spoilers or even Marvel Collector boxes.
You're getting some. No, dude. You're getting props in the chat. That's what I'm laughing at, which is cool.
It's the truth, though. It's the truth. I mean, don't get me wrong, guys. Like, even though we felt underwhelmed with this next presentation, weren't we excited when we found out it was coming anyways? Yeah. Like, it's awesome. And
I was still loving it.
Yeah. Ultimately, at the end of the day, we're not the Disney Infinity Police. We report news. I mean, what we're doing right now is talking to you guys about what happened. That's what we do. So if a leak happens, it's probably going to come up. So
well, and it's not something that's specific to our community. It's within any online community. And I think you're making a good point. Is that there's no way to put a lid on that bottle. It's impossible. It sucks. But Think about it this way.
Says JV leaked Loki himself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it does suck. I feel the worst. As much as I get disappointed, I feel the worst for the team because they deserve their moment in the spotlight as well. They've been working on this for so long, and but it is what it is.
Honestly, the truth, the only reason why a lot of people feel bad about it is because, like you said, the team works hard on it, but they're also the only team that's really close with their community.
True.
Like if another game had a leak happen, they'll be like, oh well, whatever, let's just work on something else.
Yeah.
So of course it hits us a little harder because we kind of have this relationship and this care for those people, but.
That's a good point.
Truth of the matter is, if you watch a movie and you haven't seen it, if you don't want to hear a leak, or even see a trailer, don't do it. Just don't go to the sites.
So Cindy in the chat is making a point, and kind of putting a little bit of the earnest on Disney themselves, because she's saying, don't wait 2 weeks before it's released to announce it, because it's going to get leaked between now and then. So maybe next will help that by being able to announce stuff sooner, or again kind of heading it off at the pass at least.
One of the issues with leaks though, and honestly, aside from Loki, almost every single leak that has happened is from a retailer. And unfortunately, if you're a toy manufacturer and you need to actually give them the ability to sell your product, you're going to have to supply the information, you're going to supply the pictures. But guess what? They don't really have to supply pictures, but they're going to supply the information. They're going to say, hey, we have X and X and X toy, here's the SKUs, what, yada yada. You're going to have to list them. It's going to come out this time. This is for pre-orders. If that retailer messes up, or if they have some guy in the tech department mess up, or the marketing department, they might put it up. It's going to happen. But luckily Disney has been fighting and trying to have every retailer that has leaked clarify, tell them don't put it up. But at this point, it's been a different retailer almost every single time. So it's not really, Disney's fault. They're doing everything they can to stop it, but unfortunately, it's the retailers that you really should be mad at for leaking stuff. But
and you see figures out before they're due.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in my local Best Buy like at least once a week, and like I went there the other day, and but Judy and Nick were out.
Yeah.
And I said, guys, just so you know, because they know I'm a Disney Infinity guy. I talked to the game. They're like, guys, these aren't out yet. And they're like, if I wanted to buy it, could I buy it right now? Are you going to make me an upset customer because you can't sell it because it's register locked? So what's going on?
Yeah, it's just. It's like you said. It's you can't control leaks. It's tough. But did they let you buy them, by the way? I know. I hate when they do that.
At least he would have been a responsible customer.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, sticky. People are saying, why doesn't it happen to others? It does.
It does.
Yeah. It does. To other Toys to Life specifically was a comment.
If I remember correctly, Lego Dimensions, I think, 2-3 weeks before it came out, one of their own company marketing people released the image of absolutely every single figure that was come out.
I totally remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, so it happens everywhere. Skylanders does it all the time too.
Yeah, we're in the Infinity world, so that's where we focus, and that's why it hits us the hardest. So.
Yeah.
All right, that's enough about that. Let's have fun. But way to speak intelligently and philosophically on that.
I try. Try hard, actually.
Anything else, guys? It's that time to wrap things up. What do you guys think? Was the interaction with chat? Lim, did you get to interject as much as you'd like?
Oh my gosh, there was so much with these people. I don't know if I should have warned them earlier.
That you can only talk so fast.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it was so. And who said? Oh, James said. Who said anything about fun? That's not allowed here.
That's not allowed here. There's no fun in Infinity. No crying in baseball.
Yeah. But I got a question for you guys. Did you guys pick up Nick and Judy already?
I'm
Well,
not.
I know Abe's got them.
I plan to, but not yet. Abe loves them.
I love him a lot. She's awesome too. Don't get me wrong, but I love him a lot. He's awesome. It's the movie, because I see the movie. Roger kept saying this a lot on our podcast. It kind of got annoying. I told him to stop saying it. But people, if they see them on the shelf, they're not going to really care about them. But when they see the movie, they're going to sell like crazy. Because it's kind of like Inside Out too. Like nobody really knew much about them until they saw the movie, and then everybody wanted them. So I'm glad I have them, because that movie was phenomenal. So
yeah, I might pick them up tomorrow, because the movie's not quite out yet. So
yeah, sorry it leaked. No, I'm just kidding. I was.
No, I won my team at work won a contest, and I won a little extra cash, so I might get my Judy and Nick earlier.
Do it.
We need some Patreons on diskkingdom.com.
Man, so many plugs, Abe.
Oh, and this Carrie said this earlier about the movie.
It.
She said Disney took on some heavy content that is highly relevant in today's climate, and in a fun animated way that's digestible by all.
That's cool.
She said that earlier when we were talking about him.
About Zootopia.
And about Zootopia.
That's awesome. Side note, before we end things, King Lupa is reminding us, thanks. The Keyblade's going to be unlocked with all of these Marvel characters. And also, it reminded me of one more thing. We finally got the official date for Boba Fett single release, too. So,
my collection will be complete.
Finally, I know.
I need to pick him up, too. Oh. And Spot. I got to pick up Spot, too.
Oh, dude, Spot's amazing.
Yeah, I've played Spot. I just... God, I don't
Who
have
would have thought Spot would be like the ultimate Jedi? Like, he can...
I know, right?
He's awesome. So,
yeah.
Well, cool, guys. I think that's going to wrap it up. Thanks, everyone in chat. This was super cool. This was fun. I hope you enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. Lim, do you think it worked out?
Oh, yeah. It was so much fun.
Awesome.
I love you guys. You guys are awesome.
Awesome. Yeah, with that, gents, I think we're going to go ahead and call it a night. But before we do, I want to give everyone an opportunity. Lim, where can people find you on the interwebs?
You can find me on DisneyInfinity.tv on Instagram and Bad Gamer Official on Instagram. Bad Gamer Official on Twitter and Disney Infinity TV on Twitter. And Res.tv on Instagram and Res.tv on Twitter.
Perfect. You can also check out Lim's morning streams. He does them at res.tv and for us, or for Disney Infinity TV, not for us. You're part of us. So make sure you're checking those out in the mornings as well. Mr. Abraham, this is awesome, man. It's such a pleasure having you on again. Where can people find you online?
Well, no disrespect, Lem, but for absolutely everything that just happened with Lem, you can find me at Abe Jr. 22 on everything.
That's amazing. That's a feat.
Consistent. So anywhere you want to find Abe Jr. 22, that's where I'm at. I do a lot of stuff for diskkingdom.com, but like I said, I like to do collabs with a lot of people. I'll be on CoinOp TV sometimes. Shout out to Rob, obviously here, and it's fun. So Abe Jr. 22. PSN, Xbox,
awesome.
Twitter, Instagram, it's all the same. So
go Adam and go read and watch your stuff. Abe, you're an awesome guy and love having you on the show.
Thank you, man. Thanks for the invite.
I want to give a shout out. She may have already left, but shout out to legendary writer Heather in the chat, who is become our first guest streamer. We don't know what the titles are going to be, but she started streaming for us on Disney Infinity TV, and that's something we're hoping to open up to some more people too. So go check out her streams. They've been wildly entertaining. I've had a blast watching and listening to them. So
oh my gosh.
Shout out. You can find me. I do morning streams as well at iLiam and the other areas up below, above and below. Thanks everyone. Hope you enjoyed this week's episode. I know I did. Abe, thanks again, buddy. Lim, thanks for being an awesome producer and hype man.
Thank you.
All right. With that, everyone.
Fury, out.
Till next time, we hope your week is filled with infinite possibilities. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode of the Inside Infinity podcast. If you like what we do, please subscribe, follow us, go to youtube.com/Disney Infinity TV, twitch.tv/Disney Infinity TV. Also, please check out and subscribe to our parent network, Rezd TV, REZD TV. Would like to say thanks to all of our patrons. You can become a patron of ours, patreon.com/Disney Infinity TV. With your support, we are able to continue to do the show, so we thank all of our patrons very much, and if you want to support that way, feel free to do so. Till next time, everyone, thank you.